This is the one episode rule. I'm Magpie, and we rehearsed this time, so it better go well.
I'm Blackle. Can we start again? You put me on the fucking spot.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe you, Mags.
Can't believe it's so bad already.
No, we're doing this over.
The fuck we are.
Continue.
I'm Blackle, resident mispronouncer and media ignorer.
All right. Hi, I'm Joey, and I have fluffy hair. Good day.
Good.
Mm,
And hi, I'm Emma, and I'm starting to realize that it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
You chose poorly.
I chose poorly.
You thought that this was your podcast, but no, it's Mag's podcast.
I don't think it's my podcast. This is Magpie's world, and I am just dying in it.
No, actually, I think this podcast belongs to no one. It's its own entity.
No man's podcast.
Oh, jeez.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
We'll say your pieces. I'm just here to do the news.
Blackle, you go first, please.
Mags, you are so chaotic right now. It surpasses even my power.
Anyway, I wanted to say was that I'm in a different city now from last time. Last time I was recording in the sunny city of Toronto, and now I'm in the windy, cold city of Ottawa. Because my roommate and I escaped from Toronto. And now I'm at her house with her roommates.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. On the way up, we stopped by to get A&W burgers in a completely empty service station. We call them on routes because it's like a brand of service stations. But basically no one in there. And we go up to line up for the A&W, and the dude at the counter is like, line starts there, and points to some just this long ass lineup, with the ropes on the side, Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, no one else is here. We just obey his order and line up, walk for 15 seconds to go all the way around to go back to where we started from. It was so weird.
If somebody had the audacity to say that to me, I would lock eyes with their manager and walk out of the store.
Oh
You
man,
can
I didn't
leave.
I really wanted that burger though.
That's true.
Now, Blackle, as an American, I don't. There are some parts of the story that I don't really understand. So, can you explain to me what the difference between Ottawa and Toronto is? Because as I understood it,
every city in Canada is exactly the same.
Well, no, that would be ridiculous. As I understood it, in Toronto, anytime you look into a reflection in the water, that's where Ottawa is. It's on the bottom. It's upside.
That's how we got there.
Down.
Yeah.
We drove into the lake.
You drove, yeah.
Did I just say drove into the lake?
You drove.
Yeah,
you drove.
Sure did.
This lockdown's really having an effect on my mind space. But yeah, the difference between Toronto and Ottawa is Toronto is it extends in every direction infinitely. It does not stop being a sprawl. And Ottawa immediately turns into a desolate wasteland if you venture too far away from the main road.
Got it. Okay. So what you're saying is that Toronto has anti-aliasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. It's been blurred.
That's fun. Yep. Oh God. How am I supposed to follow that up?
I'm done. I'm done my piece. This is my job's done. I don't have to do anything else in this podcast.
Oh man. So I'm thinking about what I want to talk about, and I'm like, do I actually want to talk about this? But I kind of do. So last night I fell into the horrible, deep Twitter rabbit hole of
Oh my God.
character love you counts.
What?
What?
So
What on earth is this?
Okay, so character loves you count is
Oh
it's,
no. I
it's
just put it together
essentially
with this.
Look,
Fear.
Twitter these days is essentially just Tumblr from about 10 years ago. So people they'll roleplay a character and they'll just say nice things in character. And it's really kind of a nice, just kind experience, and they'll like kind of RP you with the other loves you character accounts, and sometimes they'll just follow you back and you just start blushing. Yeah, this is, oh god, I can't. I found
you're
Put
right.
yourself, put yourself
many
on
of
blast,
these.
Joey.
You're right. You
And,
can't. Emma, what's up with you?
I
Joey,
still
did you
need a
follow the
moment
Love
to
You account for
recover.
Kaiji?
God, I should look for that. Shouldn't I?
You
Okay,
should
well,
you should
You have
follow
to
the Love
you
You
have to
account
go
for
to
Kaiji.
my followers to figure out which accounts love me the most. So go ahead, Emma. Please save me.
I'm gonna just sort of steer this in a different direction. Folks, the podcast gets more out of control every time we do it, I think.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
So between last episode and this episode, Gil and I finished Persona 5 Royal, and I think it's safe to say that I am clinically depressed from it.
Oh no, honey.
I miss all my friends, and I miss my teacher, and I miss the doctor that lived in the alley behind the cafe where I worked that gave me drugs that
Aw.
made me pass out all the time.
Just all your good friends.
Did this
It's a-
doctor ever talk about like acquiring any exotic animals or anything?
No.
No.
No. No. It is a good game. It is literally a straight upgrade. It's basically like Pokemon Emerald, but for Persona 5. And yeah. Also, I think that finishing that game has taught me an important lesson, which I will now impart to you, my co-hosts, and to you, the audience, which is maybe no life in games is bad. Maybe if you wake up and you play a game for 10 hours and go to sleep, and then wake up and then play a game for 10 hours and then go to sleep, and then you finish the game, you feel bad.
Well, you see, this is why you traditionally know life games like Destiny.
Right.
They don't end?
That don't have
yeah.
endings.
It melts your brain in any direction you do it.
This was also my first Persona game, and I was not really aware that, like, when a Persona game ends, it ends. There is no, like, you don't get to go to the battle frontier, and you don't get to, like, you don't get to grind forever. It
deletes itself off of the memory card.
Yeah, it explodes into shrapnel. It pierces
turns
the
into like weird goop and drips out of your game console.
Yeah. There's a Sojiro-shaped hole in my heart now. And I don't know when I'll get a new dad to fill it.
I have similar feelings about FF7 Remake and how I don't own it yet.
There's a disc-shaped hole in your heart.
There's.
Oh, that actually reminds me. Sorry to do a second segment, but I also watched Advent Children.
Oh, nice.
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know. Gil and I were sitting around, and he just said, "You want to watch Advent Children?" And I was like, "No." And then we did. I don't know anything about the story of Final Fantasy VII, so it made it even more confusing to watch this and be like, who is this pink lady? Is that God? And then, like, there were, like, 3 guys, but they were all actually one guy, and it was the guy with the hair. What's his name?
Yeah, I watched that one time, and I also had no Final Fantasy experience, and I didn't understand anything, and I don't remember. There was a cool dog.
Well,
that would have been
dog
your
in
first
Bulldog.
and Final Fantasy.
Well, coming to you from a perspective of somebody who has lots of Final Fantasy VII experience, I will tell you that, don't worry, having the context doesn't make the movie any better.
That movie, it was just so rough.
It will not reveal any more to you about the memorable characters like Kadaj.
It's baffling.
I will say it looked really good, and that
That's
was
true.
it.
That's
It
true.
had the pacing, the dialogue. It felt like the characters were talking to each other through a string in a cup, and so like there's like just like 5 seconds of delay between them talking, and it's like, what? Please.
Well, I hope you managed to find at least some enjoyment in literally the most boring representation of Cloud's Drive.
He was pretty boring, and his voice actor. Listen, notice I'm not trying to come for your throat or anything, sir, whoever you are. But there was just nothing. It was every line was the same.
Yeah, I think he was directed to do that.
Every line is exactly the same.
But
You know?
yeah, Advent Children is a rough movie, and Cloud kind of looks like a whippet in it.
Stupid asshole. Do you have news?
Yeah, I
Wait,
do.
before the news, I have one thing to say.
Okay, is it about
And
Advent
it's-
Children?
No, it's just
Very well.
I just want to tell Joey that Lupin the Third loves you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyhow, continue. Please
all
don't
right.
dwell on my shame.
So we have some news items. Answering a question that I asked either last episode or the one before that, Dohadoro is coming to US Netflix in May of 2020.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I can stop looking at it and going, where?
Wow.
Go.
Where show? How get?
Want to see Lizard Man.
Give
Where
show.
is Lizard Man? Dorohedoro is great. It's a very good show. It's good to look at.
Nothing really more to that story other than it's just gonna be in May.
It's coming.
It's gonna be May.
And I wish that I was in the dub, but I'm not gonna be.
Aww.
Let's see. Oh, okay. One Punch Man reportedly is going to get a live-action Hollywood film from the Venom and Jumanji writers.
Can you fucking
What? What?
And I, for one, have something to say, and that thing is, don't. Please don't.
Please
Don't do this.
I like that show. Please don't.
I mean, there's just no fucking way, right, folks? Like, there's just no
Mm-mm.
possible way that it could come out good instead of very bad.
Mm-mm.
Supposedly going to be produced by Venom and Jumanji writers Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner at Sony Pictures.
Yeah, no, this is not. Mm-mm.
I just don't see it turning out good.
Like even
folks.
if like it just doesn't feel like the right genre for them to be working with compared to what they've done before, in my opinion. And even beyond that, it's just I don't know how you could adapt it that well.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, in the last bit of news, and it's I'm going to call this a semi-regular segment called "What's Up with Evangelion."
Yeah.
I would like to introduce you to the newest inexplicable Evangelion tie-in, the Avachi Tamagotchi line.
Hello?
The
Oh
Avachi.
God! I
The
thought when you said Avachi, I
Yeah.
thought you were referring to Hitachi.
Oh, yeah. I bet you can find that too.
No,
But
they
probably-
already made it, I think.
Probably on, at least on Etsy. But
Oh my God!
anyway, the Avachi, as they're called, come in 3 colors, corresponding to the Avas. Each has 20 different angels you can nurture from fetus stage all the way to their appearance in the TV anime.
Oh my god.
Oh my
if
Lord!
you neglect the angels, they will create an AT field close to their hearts, and you have to destroy them.
Oh my god!
I love the concept of you didn't take care of your pet. It's time for you to destroy
Now
it.
you must kill it
Now you must
Prevent
kill
You
it.
must destroy
to prevent third impact.
Well-
God. So funny.
I have a picture to show you that will cap all of this off. It'll probably end up being in our liner notes.
I'd like to see it. Oh! Oh my
That's
god.
him.
Let him out of there.
Oh my
Let him out.
god.
Actually, no, keep him in there.
Keep them in there. That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
You know, Gendo Tamagotchi would be much funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the-
instead
you
of
have
being
to destroy him
You
too.
just have an adult man in there.
A little Gendo got you.
instead of the Tamagotchi being like your pet, it's like you are the child of Gendo, and he's just like berating you.
No, it's no. I just want
It just beeps, and you check, and it says like you're a disappointment.
I just want it to be played completely straight, and you just be like, feed the Gendo, care for the Gendo, and then and you just like the Gendo has something to say to you, and you're like, okay, and you click it, and it's just like, I miss my wife.
Oh
you
my god.
shake it around.
You shake 'em.
You just shake them.
And then you squeeze it in your hand until it cracks.
Relatedly, just going back to a comment from just a few moments ago, I did go ahead and look up Evangelion vibrator, and it didn't
Doing the Lord's work,
it
Emma.
didn't exactly provide me with the results I was looking for. Now there's some results, all right, but I was looking for more of a product, not pictographs.
Oh no.
All right, let's move on to actually
Yeah.
watching a show this episode. I've reached into my big bag of completely unknown shit to fetch us a new show to watch.
All right.
Nice.
This time around, it's going to be. Oh wow, really? Okay, it's going to be called Hozuki's Coolheadedness.
I feel like we
Okay.
could all use a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah, how appropriate to watch a show about hell.
Because that's where we are. We're in hell.
That's where we live now.
So last episode was trying to save our souls, and then this one is showing us where we're gonna go.
This is going to handle the bureaucracy of our sins.
Yeah.
God.
All right, who wants to read this?
I think Blackle should, and I'm gonna plug my ears.
Okay. Hozuki is the aide of the great King Enma. Calm and super sadistic, Hozuki tries to resolve the various problems in hell, including a rampaging Momotaro and his companions. However, he also likes spending his free time on his hobbies, such as fawning over cute animals and raising goldfish flowers.
Yeah, this is,
All right.
Okay,
it's just normal.
you did it.
Not bad.
Completely
Not
normal.
bad.
All right.
The only word that you didn't do good on was king, which is an English word, which is cool.
Yeah,
Cool of you.
I don't believe in royalty.
Right.
It's valid.
So yeah, what do we think, guys?
I wasn't hot
Um,
on it.
I'm not surprised. What does everybody else think?
I would love to know what you guys thought, because I had an okay time, but it did require me to like mentally like comb through 4 years of education to try
I
to be
was
like,
gonna
okay,
say,
so that's
this,
Momotaro, and then okay, so this is the hell from Buddhism, and it was like, it just felt like extremely like referential in a way that I wasn't sure that my friends who
The
did not
thing-
study Japan would access.
I
The
don't
thing
know.
that I wrote in the middle of my page was, this feels inaccessible to me.
I found it very boring. The only thing I got was a joke about your father being SoftBank. That I laughed so hard at that.
But I didn't find this particularly inaccessible. I mean, I did all the required work. I know what Japan is, and I've and I watched that one episode of Samurai Jack where he talks about the story of Momotaro. So
Oh,
Okay,
I
tell
didn't know there
tell
was
me
one.
about that
Yeah,
one
yeah, it's
really
good.
quick.
Okay. Should the local
You have
Japanese
a-
resident talk about Momotaro, or do you want to
Yes,
talk about
No, I'll
the
explain
Samurai
it.
Jack episode?
I don't know.
Actually, tell us about the Samurai Jack episode.
I would like
'cause
to
wanna
hear
know
about the
how it
Samurai Jack
compares.
episode.
The Samurai Jack episode is pretty cool because it basically just is the story of Momotaro while Jack is telling a baby the story of Momotaro.
Nice.
And also there is
Um,
an ogre who is a football man,
That is good.
Don't
That's good
remember that
content.
episode at all.
which is
No,
very
I
strange.
don't either. Excuse me, but I did watch the show when I was like 6. So,
But yeah, Momotaro is just like a peasant hero with an axe from a family of woodcutters that fucks up some ogres.
yeah.
All right.
Now the most important part of Momotaro's story is that his mother and father were unable to conceive a child, and so the gods sent them a big peach in the river, and they pulled the peach out of the river, and they tried to eat the peach because they were starving. And inside the peach there was a baby,
Oh, okay.
and that's Momotaro.
So I have here's my next question.
Okay.
The animal compatriots that he has with him,
Yes.
what do those mean? Because I know them specifically. This is gonna be weird.
I'm ready.
One Piece.
Whoa.
Okay. That's
There's-
weird.
That's cool.
Because the main admirals are when the story starts, the admirals are what are they? The blue pheasant, the red dog, and the yellow monkey.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun.
That's neat.
Yeah, I
It-
mean,
it-
there's
I feel like
Sorry.
it's basically just like all your folk heroes from Japanese and even Korean and Chinese to a lesser degree just seem to have like a lot of animal companions.
yeah.
Like just friends. You know, like the monk from Journey to the West basically ends up with animal companions. They're demons, but they're animal companions.
Yeah. And it's basically the same thing here. Momotaro goes to an island to fight a bunch of ogres, and on the way he meets the dog and the monkey and the pheasant, and they become friends with him because he gives them some of his food, and then he kills a bunch of demons, and that's the end of the story.
That's
You
pretty
know,
much-
the whole deal with animal compatriots or animal like friends for heroes. I guess that also happens a lot in Western media. Like well, the only example that comes to mind is Flubber, but I'm sure there's other examples.
Hang
what the
on.
Fuck? Hold up.
No, explain.
I said my piece, move on.
No, you can't just say flubber and then not talk about flubber.
I would
Are
very
you
much
saying-
appreciate if we didn't talk about Flubber.
I don't understand the comparison.
I understand very little of what Blackle says, and I don't let that get me down.
Oh,
My favorite
God.
part about how this relates to the show is that in this show, Momotaro has been dead for 300 years, and it is just sort of a stupid asshole. Because like,
He's a big stupid asshole, and he went to hell.
yeah, he peaked
Mhm.
early and didn't gain a personality or anything.
Yeah, kind of ran out of stuff to do after he killed all those ogres.
Yeah, he whooped all the ogres, and then he had like nothing left to, you know, who Momotaro is. It's like
Mhm.
people who were the fucking quarterback for their high school football team and never shut up about it.
Right. It was great.
But
Those were
other
the
than that,
days.
well, if we want to get into the analysis, I have notes that I wrote about this.
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. The first thing I wrote was that, and this extends beyond the main character of Hozuki, but I hate his mouth.
Mouth bad.
I hate it so much.
The main character's mouth.
Yes,
It's not good to look
It
at.
is
I don't like
drawn-
looking at that mouth.
he is in fact kind of an ugly man, which I appreciate for an anime because that's usually not the case. But
okay, y'all are gonna be mad. I had the opposite feeling about the mouth. I liked the mouth.
You like
I
his
liked
mouth?
Their mouths.
You like his
You
mouth?
like the
Weird.
mouth, huh?
Into the
It was,
mouth.
Well,
it was interesting. It was cool. It was nice. I liked it. I liked looking at it. It was.
I saw a
Joy,
lot
you're
of,
valid.
I saw like cat mouths on human beings, which I didn't like.
Yeah, I liked
That's
those too.
Well,
Of course. There's just from the intro, there seems to be a pretty huge variety of character designs, which is always appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Even
No,
if
yeah,
they're all
the character designs were really good. Like most of them are, yes, they're ugly, but like
but they're very
Yeah.
like
distinctive.
charming ugly.
a whole cast of freak ass demons is appreciated.
Yeah.
Hmm
I liked how evidently influenced by the old Japanese paintings the style of like penwork was.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the
it's got,
lines. I liked that a lot.
it's got a very ukiyo-e look to it. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Very
it's beautiful. That was the one thing that I just kept writing down over and over is just how cool the like painted establishing shots and the backgrounds and everything were.
it's
Yeah.
got a
I wrote down that I felt like I was watching the video game Okami, and then I realized that makes a lot of sense.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I get? I just wrote Momotaro, but we already talked about Momotaro and how he's
Yeah.
just a big dumb jerk.
Yes.
And I appreciate that it's Hozuki's job to just deal with big dumb jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually does a pretty good job because he's just like, okay, let's see. Okay, you two, I'm going to offer you jobs here in the hell of animals fucking up bad people in the background. And you go pick beaches.
Yeah.
Go help
he's-
heaven.
Good job.
Where
Yeah.
you belong.
Go help
anyway.
heaven with their landscaping.
But let's see. I particularly like the phrase, "This is hell." Yes, let's settle this with violence.
Yes. That was very good.
Yes.
It's good. It was good.
Yeah, like I like
Yeah.
the show. I like the vibe the show is going for, and I find it particularly bold to have the whole back end of your episode be one conversation at a dinner table, and have it still
That-
be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That was. I
Was
didn't
very
like that. I
strong.
found it extremely boring.
Well, of course,
I
you did.
liked that part. It was fun.
But
Can we talk about the goldfish plants?
Can we please
No.
not talk about the goldfish plants?
Yes.
I don't want
Blackle,
to think about them.
Blackle, we're gonna have to talk about the goldfish plant.
We're gonna
Oh,
have
no.
to tuck into these goldfish plants. I will be the first to admit, no idea, folks. I caught a lot of references. I caught the Maihama train station, and I caught Momotaro, and I caught SoftBank, and that lady, whatever her name is. I did not get the goldfish plant. Don't know what that was about.
Well,
They scream.
it
They
appears that
scream.
Hozuki doesn't, in fact, know exactly what they are.
Yeah.
He just adores them, so he raises them.
He's like, oh, they're terrible. Look at them. I love them.
Just like I love them. They're so awful.
I did love them.
And they were talking
I
about the fucking
did, too.
contest, and it's just like you have to judge them on their call.
I did
Aw.
enjoy the sound design of the scream.
It's very, very good.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, that whole conversation, it's easy to forget during that conversation who the people at the table are.
Right.
Because they are just having a normal dinner watching a small television show about Australia. And you forget that it is the second in command and king of hell, Enma, having this conversation. And you only remember when it cuts back to Enma and he's like twice the size of Hozuki and he's eating a whole dolphin.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, when Hozuki like put his kanabo into Enma's face, and it was like it looked like a makeup brush compared to his very, very huge head.
He has a very, very big, huge head.
He's a big
then-
man.
Meanwhile, Enma was just eating an entire coelacanth,
Yeah, just,
bones and all,
Slurped
just
it up.
crunching it.
just an ancient fish.
Yeah.
And complaining about how he wants to go on vacation.
Uh-huh.
Which I believe Enma is allowed to do. Because it's not like
Right.
Satan. He didn't get condemned to hell or anything. He just
Ye-
runs it.
Right. Yes. And And so I also want to talk for just a moment about the fact that this is Buddhist hell, which is a lot different from sort of our Western understanding of what hell is. It's kind of more like a purgatory where, like, you got enough bad karma, you go to hell, and you kind of burn that off, and then you get to go somewhere else.
It's like going to the gym.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's not that different from the Western interpretation of hell. I mean, you still do get ripped apart by dogs.
Mauled by
and
dogs
shit.
for a while, yeah.
That's true. But I think there's an implication in our hell that, like, that's just punishment. Where in this hell, it's like we're helping you be better by
Right.
by letting these animals eat your butt open.
By letting the SoftBank dog kill you.
I feel like that. I feel like those. I feel like those platitudes would feel somewhat hollow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is for my benefit, is it?
You think it should be poetic, but instead it is just sad.
Yep.
So, Hozuki liking wallabies is cute, but the close-up of the kangaroo was kind of upsetting.
The fucking kangaroo, why they drew it like it was sexy or something.
Why did they?
They did.
Why did they draw it like that?
I don't know.
I don't know. The bedroom eyes was not. I wasn't into that.
Not great.
It was bad. Also,
And it was
did
like
they-
it was
Sorry.
like jacked like a real kangaroo too, which is
Yes.
upsetting.
Oh
That's how
boy.
they look. Did they
Yeah.
talk about why did they say Hunter x Hunter at one point?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know. I feel like honestly, I feel like that's like an error in the sub or something.
No, they said
Did
it.
that happen? Did that?
He said
what?
Hunter Hunter.
Yeah,
When
When did he
Hunter
say
x
Hunter
Hunter.
Hunter?
And it had the X in there in the subs.
yeah,
When did
that's
he-
true. We should say it correctly. They did say Hunter X Hunter.
It's not.
No. It
How-
didn't say the
when
X.
Did they
They
say
said
when
Hunter
did they-
Hunter, but the
Someone
caption
please.
said
Okay, I'm gonna say
Do you want
this.
me to find this for
No,
you?
Um,
I'll find it.
I
They
will say
do,
this.
I'll
like-
find it. I saw it too.
Okay, don't find it. But go on.
go
Magpie?
Magpie.
I will say that I didn't hear them say it. I just saw it pop up subs.
I heard them say it. They said Hunter x Hunter. They didn't say the X, but the X was present in the captions. And
Oh,
that's
so they
and
said
the-
it wrong. They didn't say it with the X.
Well, now I'm not gonna get into this, but the author does say that it's Hunter x Hunter,
Yeah.
and that you don't say the X.
Could you take a guess about what I would have to say to the author?
Probably. Why is it there then?
If you don't say it, then why the fuck did you write it?
That's a fair question, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why they said it either.
It was strange. They were just
Anyhow.
watching some documentary about Australia.
Yeah, and talking about Ueno Zoo,
I got it. I got the
which is
screenshot.
which is a real zoo.
Okay, this show is called
Yes.
Mystery Hunter X Hunter,
Mystery Hunter x Hunter.
which I assume is independent
Oh.
from regular Hunter X Hunter.
Maybe that was like a joke.
It's probably
like
a
a-
joke.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of jokes that like are extremely reliant on Japanese culture,
Yeah.
which is obviously not a bad thing. It's just bad for us
I mean, it's a
being
Japanese
Westerners.
show. I mean, I managed to pick up everything but that.
There's also a joke about when he says that he would take a living girl to a cemetery, but he would take a dead girl to that land, and it
Yeah,
shows
what does that mean?
it shows a sign for the Maihama train station, which is the station that you go to if you want to go to Tokyo Disney. But they couldn't say Disneyland, so they just said I'd take her to that land and showed
You
Maihama.
Go to-
Oh my god.
That's
take a
hilarious.
ghost to Disneyland.
That is very funny.
It's
Oh,
good.
I wish we watched this with some kind of like translator's commentary over top. That would have
You're
made
right.
it substantially more enjoyable for me.
It just would have been like a full screen of text
book.
explaining stuff to you, though.
Oh, jeez.
So, well, I didn't mind the show at all. I thought it was actually pretty chill.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty fun. I liked it.
I just don't think it was for me.
I like the idea of The Office, but in hell.
Yeah.
It didn't really have any of like the styling, to me, like the defining factor of The Office is the fact that it's like a camera TV show where like it's like a fake reality TV show.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd watch another episode of this. I probably will.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
What about y'all?
I found it kind of a slog because I didn't understand anything, so I don't think I'd want to watch another.
That's totally fair. Like I said, wasn't sure how accessible it would be to. I mean, the rest of you guys are at least sort of base level weeaboos, but
I don't know about that, Emma. Am I really a weeaboo?
No, well, I just meant the rest. Everyone else besides you is at least a base, like a level 1. And I
Level one.
obviously I have ascended into like the. I'm in like
Yeah,
the.
like how dare you, Blackle, interrupt this fucking lead into this humble brag about weeaboo power?
Yes. Now I've prestiged already, but no, I just meant Blackle doesn't know anything about Japan, so why would you like this?
explain more of the references to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I want a 10-page essay about all the references. One sentence per reference at the
I'm not as
maximum.
on the ball as you are. I didn't get all of
Okay, well, the dog talks about wanting to adopt Io Uetal, who is I'm not gonna do this stupid fucking bit.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Good.
It wasn't a humble brag. I was just trying to say that I understand why Blackle's gonna like the show.
All right.
No, I wouldn't watch more of this.
Um,
That's fine.
I'm not I didn't hate it, and I liked it all right, but I don't think that it's really my thing either. So I probably wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't be super opposed to watching another one, but I probably won't on my own time.
Like that. I may watch another episode, but I got a lot of stuff to get through. I'm watching like multiple different, really odd shows with some of
Yeah.
you. So-
Yeah, that's my other thing too.
and plus, I'm trying to watch Beastars, and I need to get back on Castlevania. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah, that's
I got
understandable.
a full plate of weeaboo in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
gotta get cutting. Gotta get eaten.
You gotta get eaten.
You gotta get eaten.
Just an outside theory. I didn't manage to slip this joke in anywhere. Are we in the hell of podcasting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that this episode in particular is us burning through all of our bad karma, and I think that we're gonna go to Shangri-La next episode.
Speaking of which, I do want to share the
so.
screen grab I did of the crayon drawing of Shangri-La from the show.
Okay,
Because I wanted to point out the dog in the corner.
Yeah.
that's me.
That is Emma.
It's Toby Fox.
It's Toby Fox. Toby Fox lives in Shangri-La. That explains a
Yep.
lot.
So anyway, I would at this point I would usually say let's check the email, but guess what? I
Nothing.
did that before we started the podcast.
Dun dun
Yeah.
dun. We have a new follower on Twitter.
Oh, do we?
Was it
There's
did
that.
Hatsune Miku finally follow back?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
still waiting for Miss Miku.
One day we'll get that golden notification. If you want to send us an email, because we didn't get any, you can send that to oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
And that's one, the word, not the number.
And you can
Mhm.
you can follow
no.
suit and follow us on Twitter at whatever Emma was going to say before I.
You can tweet at us at one episode cast. That is also one, the word, not the number. We are fairly active on that Twitter, so if you ever want to hit us up, we will probably respond.
retweeting
Mostly
a bunch
just
of
follow us for bad anime posts. It's
yeah,
great.
a lot of retweeting of some dank anime shit posts. Occasionally ones of our own working.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We stay weebed.
Oh god,
That was
it's over
nothing.
now.
What
It's
was
over
that?
now. I would like, before we close, to point out one last note, which is that our Hozuki said, "I need a girl who can laugh off being strangled by an anaconda," and I wrote that down and said, "Is that just Magpie?"
Magpie?
Am I
Confirm?
am I the anaconda?
Holy shit.
Hey! Turn the podcast off!